welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, and if you are returning, thank you so much for returning, and hello to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube family. I kind of wanted to do a story time maybe once every here and there. So my last story time was how I met my husband. And I did forget to mention at the end, we are doing a lot better now than we did back then. So yeah, I totally forgot to say that, but just know we're doing good. So today's story time, I kind of wanted to say, the girls are sleeping, so I'm trying to make sure I don't hear Emery crying. I kind of want to explain like how I found out I was pregnant with Avery, like how long it took us to even get pregnant and all of that. So yeah. So let me just kind of start from kind of the beginning, not the beginning, but when me and my husband got together, we got together in 2013. For the first 7 or 9 months, I was on birth control. I was on the Depo shot, but I did not like how I felt on it. I was gaining weight, so I ended up getting off of it. We weren't really using condoms. We weren't being safe at all. But I was not getting pregnant. We already knew like what could happen if we weren't being safe, but we just kind of like pushed it off to the side. But yeah, I wasn't getting pregnant, and that was already like I got pregnant with her in 2016 in January. So like 2 or 3 years I was not getting pregnant, and I was kind of worrying maybe I couldn't get pregnant or maybe he couldn't get me pregnant. So we were just kind of like whatever, we just thought I couldn't get pregnant. I didn't think I was the one able to get pregnant because my periods were so irregular. Like I would have one and then like go months without it. So when I got pregnant with Avery, I finally got pregnant with her in 2016, like I said, and it was like a big surprise to me. I was working at an assisted living home, and one girl was pregnant, and I was working there for like a good year, almost a year. I think I was like 9 or 10 months there. And one morning I went in and I was like very like nauseous. Like I ate something that I would usually eat every morning, and I couldn't really, it wasn't satisfying. It was nasty to me, so I wanted to throw it up. And I walked into the med room, that's what they called it, because it's an assisted living home is where like you take care of like the elderly, like you give them medication and like all that stuff. So I walked into that room, and then one of the employees, I told her, I was like, oh, I'm not feeling good, I'm nauseous. And she's like, you're pregnant. I said, no, I'm not pregnant. So on my way home from work, I called my husband, which was my boyfriend at the time. I called him. I said, oh yeah, I was feeling sick this morning, and the lady told me that I was pregnant. I was like, no way. And he's like, well, why don't you just go pick up a test and test yourself? I was like, okay, but it's gonna be negative. So I got home and I went upstairs. We were living at my mother-in-law and her boyfriend's house at the time. I went upstairs. I remember sitting on the toilet. I peed on the test and I put it down on the floor. So like as I was finishing up, like I cleaned myself and all that, and I looked down and I saw like another line. Like there was 2 lines, and I was like, whoa. Like I got so shaky, and I was so I won't say scared, but like I was just so, there was just so many emotions. Like I didn't know what to feel. I just remember walking outside the bathroom, going downstairs, and I was telling my mother-in-law, I don't remember like what words I actually said, but I think I told her that I was going to take a test because I wasn't feeling good. But I came down and she was like, what happened, Mija? Because I was crying. And I was like, I was holding a test, and she looked at it, and oh my God, she started crying, and we both started crying. And it was like, there was just so many emotions at that point. And it was just crazy when I found out I was pregnant with my first kid, because I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to get pregnant. I did have a period. Let's see. I found out I was pregnant with her March 10th, I want to say, of 2016, and I supposedly conceived her January 21st, supposedly, according to my last period. So when I didn't get my period, I was kind of like, oh, it's just, I'm skipping it. So I didn't think anything of it. When I was pregnant, when I found out I was pregnant with her, I was already like 6 weeks. Yeah, I was like 6 weeks already. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. And then when my husband or boyfriend came home at the time, we went upstairs and I gave him the test, and he was like, what did he say? I think he said like, no way. And I said, yeah. And then the next day I made an appointment at this pregnancy clinic in Corona. We had our first ultrasound. It was itty bitty. The baby was itty bitty. Avery was this small. Had a heartbeat. I don't think they let us hear the heartbeat. No, I think they said they couldn't hear it at that small, I don't know. But I started tearing up. My mother-in-law was with us, and my sister-in-law, and then my boyfriend. And I wasn't trying to tell everybody at that time. When I did find out, I did go to my grandma's. I want to say that same day. I bought digital ones, and then that's when I found out I was above 3 weeks. And I told my mom and dad, and then of course like whoever was living there, they found out. And I just pretty much kept it like a closed circle of people knowing that I was pregnant. We let my husband's dad know, I think. I don't remember how we told him. I remember telling my grandpa, but it wasn't that special because he has so many great grandbabies. So when we told my husband's grandparents, they are all like crying and all that. And then his grandpa was like, well, how did that happen? As a joke. And then my husband's like, well, when a mommy and daddy love each other. I don't know, just something like that. So they were crying and I was crying. Sorry guys. And it was honestly just like super crazy. And then I had her in October 25th, 2016, on my mother-in-law's birthday. And the whole pregnancy, I was like, I do not want her on your birthday, blah, blah, blah. And Avery was just like, nope, I'm gonna come out on my grandma's birthday. Boom. And she was born. But yeah, that's just like a little story time. I kind of just wanted to tell you guys how I found out I was pregnant with Avery. And I think I might just put in how I was pregnant with Emery too, because this is such a short video. I might as well do both of them back to back. So I had Avery in 2016, and then let's see, I was not on birth control at all because I was breastfeeding, and I heard that you can't get pregnant while breastfeeding. Your chances are very small and blah blah blah. Well, that's such a lie. So any of you new moms out there that are not on any type of birth control and just breastfeeding and think that you're not going to get pregnant, you can get pregnant while breastfeeding. So don't take that as a birth control. But I got pregnant with Emery when I was around like 10 months postpartum. And the funny thing with that, when I found out I was pregnant with Emery, was I started a new job. When I got hired into that job, there was a girl pregnant. She just found out she was, well, no, there was a girl that was already pregnant. She was like, I want to say like, Jesus, I don't even know, like 4 months pregnant or something like that. And then like the first week I started, other girl told me, yeah, I'm pregnant, I'm 5 weeks, I want to say she told me, or something like that. I can't remember how far along she was. And right when she told me that she was pregnant, I was like, oh my God, that means somebody else in this office is gonna get pregnant. And the reason why I say that is because when I got pregnant the last time, it was one girl, and then it was me, and then after I left, another girl got pregnant. So it was like 3, like back to back. So when she told me that, I said, oh my God, somebody is gonna get pregnant. I hope it's not me. So not even a month of me starting, I had a tattoo removal. I want to say August. No, I had it September 18th or something like that. But the day before, no, I had it September 19th. September 18th, I tested just to make sure I wasn't pregnant before I went. It was negative. And then the next day was supposed to be my period, and I did not get my period. And I said, okay, maybe it's just gonna start skipping again, because I was starting to get regular periods after I had Avery. But then I missed that period, and I said, oh, it's just nothing. But I just decided to test anyways, just because I was working at a doctor's office and we had the little cheap pregnancy tests. So I took one. When I took it, there was no line that I know of. I just remember seeing a negative and I threw it away. But as I was starting that day, because it was in the morning when I took it, and as I was starting that day, like I had like the weirdest feeling to go check the pregnancy test. And there was no trash in that trash can yet, so it was just a pregnancy test and then the little paper towel I put over it. I moved it and I had gloves on, obviously. And I looked at it and it had a faint line, and I said, no way. Like, this is probably like an evaporation line. So I retested and that one came out like right away. And I was like, no way. Like, it was honestly so crazy, because like the day before I tested and it was straight negative, and then the next day it was negative. That turned into a positive, and then I took another one and then it was like straight positive. So when I took it, I sent it to my husband and I said, uh-oh. And he said, you're lying to me, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, this is for real. Like, I just took these right now. I don't even remember what happened after that. I remember my sister-in-law just gave birth to her son literally like 2 weeks before I found out. Or like a week. Yeah, I think it was like a week and a half before I found out. So I was already pregnant. When she had her son, I was already at least like two weeks or something like that. Because I was already like 4 weeks when I came out with the positive. So when I found that I was pregnant, I went home. My mother-in-law was sitting outside, and I went outside, and I forgot what the conversation was, and I was like, I just came out saying I took a test today and it came back positive. And of course she got excited, and I forgot what she said. And then she told her boyfriend, and then we kind of just kept it like just us, the ones in the house. And then I came out with like a little picture of Avery looking in the oven, saying mom says there's a bun in the oven or something like that. I sent it to like our family. I don't remember when I sent it out. I want to say it was like a party that I sent it out. We were all together, so I sent it out, and that's when everybody found out together. But yeah, that one was like super crazy when I found out with that one. Like, honestly, I think it's true whenever at least 1 or 2 people are pregnant at an office or anywhere, somebody else is bound to get pregnant, because so far, me working at 2 places with girls and 3 people were pregnant at the same time, somebody's jinxing it. So yeah, I am not on any type of birth control right now. I know that's risking it a lot right now already as it is. I was on birth control for like 2 months. I didn't care for it. I just felt like I was gaining weight again, and I felt like it was doing something with my milk supply, so I got off of it. We are not using condoms, but we are trying the pull-out method, but that's not always 100% either, so we are trying our hardest not to get pregnant. I can't say we're trying our hardest, because obviously if I was trying my hardest, I'd be on birth control. I just hate how birth control makes me feel. So yeah, I most likely will, if we're completely done with kids, get my tubes tied, because I don't think when a girl gets her tube tied, it's irreversible. I can't remember, but yeah, I might do that. Had to really have a discussion with my husband and sit down, because that is a very big like change. So I have to talk to him about that to see what we're gonna do. Now I have a almost 1-year-old and a 2.5-year-old, so I don't really want another kid anytime soon, but I really don't want to be on birth control. So I'm just praying to God. He is watching out for me, saying, okay, you don't need any kids right now. I'll help you out, because yeah, I don't want any more kids right now, because my first one is a little crazy and my second one's a little, she's getting there, because she sees her sister acting up. So yeah, so that's how I found out I was pregnant with both my girls. I was 19, almost 20, right? Yeah, almost 20 when I got pregnant with Avery. And with Emery, I was 21. I was 21. And then when I had her, I was 22. So yeah, there's a lot of grandbabies that came out within the past 4 years on my husband's side. So I think we're kind of drawing the line. My sister-in-law is on birth control, so props to her. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do, because I cannot be on birth control. I can't do the pill because I suck at taking pills. I don't want to be on the Depo because I'm gonna gain a bunch of weight, and bad it is, I already feel like self-confident about myself now because of my weight, so I don't want to like go into like a depression when I'm on the birth control. So that, and I don't want the IUD because I've heard some stories about that, and that's just scary. And then the implant, which I had. So I don't know what we're gonna do, but hopefully I don't get pregnant anytime soon. Fingers crossed. Tablet. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed finding out how I got pregnant with both girls. And please comment down below like when you found out you were pregnant with your first kid, or like any of your other kids. Like I want to hear the stories, like how you found out, because I feel like honestly mine are pretty crazy. Not like the craziest out there, but they're pretty crazy to me, at least, because both times it was because I was in a place full of girls and at least 2 or 1 was pregnant. And then also literally the day after I went to my tattoo removal, I found out I was pregnant with both times I did that. So I get scared every time I go to my tattoo removal and test literally the day after to make sure I'm not pregnant. So yeah, I feel like that's crazy. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and please share my videos with any of your loved ones or any of your friends, and all of that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.